Hello,
Hey Lucas, long time no see.
how are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing great.
All good? Nation, Sebastian, nice to have you here.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, I have Gabrielle here. I just need to disable the waiting room. Okay. So, what's up? Any news from your side?
All
Nation,
good.
Sebastian, all good?
Yeah,
Hunching, did you get to catch up a bit on what we did last week at all?
I'm sorry, I didn't really have the time to do that, but I
Okay.
read through everything. So we created a token last week, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay,
last
I
week
think
we
I
created.
should, yep, I should know how to do that.
Yeah. Okay. So it's on Game Changer. You go to the sandbox or something that section that they have there, and it's really simple. Okay. So I'm just gonna start sharing my screen, and get this out of the way. Okay. So there's this new sheet there. I don't think. Did you guys? You didn't import your wallets into pre-prod at all for now, did you? So we have the
I
testnet
think I
environment.
did,
Yeah.
but I do it now. Yeah, I
Okay.
probably did in the other folder. Yeah.
Okay. So I enriched this a little bit after our last call, just to be more explicit. And most of us are up to date. Juan is not here yet. Maybe I'm not sure if he's going to come today. And so last session, just to Wanqing, is really important the address. Well, actually, we actually spoke of importing something into Game Changer as a read-only, which is quite an interesting option as well, to take a look at other people's wallets inside the Game Changer wallet. And we did this. So apart from that, we were talking a bit about the organization of things. And yeah, and I also added a lot of links to this thing. We're here, especially down there, some things that you can see. So most videos about the metaverse that we had spoken about. And also here, I added a column for mainnet where this is actual live content. So it's not going to be, we're not going to be able to play with this with our testnet tokens. But if you want to start taking a look, maybe we can enrich this list of real applications that are running on live. Now, today, I would like to start by, really asking you guys how, for what we've learned so far, do you have any opinions, anything that you want to try for these sessions, in the next sessions? Anything that you want to share that you've been up to, that you've been doing?
Yes, I would like to share one thing.
Yeah.
I was, unfortunately, due to the time zone, I cannot follow up the live code online, and I'm catching up with the course. But I like a lot what the team is doing on YouTube, so I can follow it up.
Yeah.
I wonder if there are questions which are not addressed in live code because timely. There are people possibly like me who are catching up, so they come later. How can we make it? Because I was thinking to put some questions, but before putting a question in the Discord, I go back to look if somebody already asked and so forth. Is quite time consuming, and sometimes maybe I don't find already existing answers. What do you suggest to do?
Well, you're talking more about the PBL work, the Gimbalabs PBL work, yes? Gabrielle? Yeah, okay.
Yes, I was referring to the PBL course,
Okay,
correct? Yes.
so you have Discord, and I was just, to take a look here. So one of the things I tried to do to organize learners for the PBL was to find out the time zones that we will all work in. I can see that you're +8. So for you now, it's a bit late already in the day. It's like 7 p.m. for you,
Right.
right?
7, right.
Yeah. So what I'm going to try to do out of this session, obviously, is send an invite to see if we can start a study group. Is this something that we've been talking about since the beginning with Wanqing and everyone? But we never really got around to it. So I'm going to make a note to see if I can put out a survey. Someone suggested Let Us Meet, which is a platform. And I'm going to try to create a study group that we can do more on the top part of the day. Would you be able, like on Mondays around this hour of the day?
Around this hour of the day is perfect for me.
Okay. Okay. So
by the way, just a note, I know that from next week, Saturday, under Sebastian Pabon,
yeah,
I understand that he is leading the team. There is the town hall, Easter town hall on Saturday. And I'm not sure what will be the content, but I expect will be similar to the live code,
exactly,
which will be great, I think, if it is like that.
Oh, no, I think it's more on the lines of what we are doing here as well.
Okay.
Sebastian,
Yeah.
you want to jump in?
Yes, that's mainly the content. But you know, this thing of learn Plutus and how to develop on all of this is it's a whole journey. So I think that while we are learning here in these classes are really good to start, and in some point we think start to learn some technicalities around all this. But it's, in principle, is mainly the same. But of course, you can go.
Excellent.
All these Saturdays, each 2 weeks. Is the weekly.
Yeah, I'll drop by as well to see how how it goes, and I'm very curious to get to know the learners a bit. Okay, so jumping through to, I just want to get to the let's dig in part to actually get something built. But before getting there, these two little topics here, it's about something that I'm putting in this document that you have access to. I see someone is right there. So this isn't a presentation that I did as an invitation actually from Sebastian. And I would invite you to take a look at this presentation because it has a detailed explanation of why Web3 is important for non-technical users. What are the several things that are going to be that I'm just going to mute it here, that you're going to be able to build with Web3 and what things are already being used for. So take a look at the video if you find it useful. You can also dig in a bit deeper and come into the actual presentation. So on this file, you have all the links that I'm showing. You can browse through and click in all the websites. It's a bit the same thing, or a very more developed lists of websites and tools than I was starting here. So we're always going to have fragmentation of content a bit. And in this one, you have everything explained by niches and different use cases for Web3. So it's really something that I encourage you to take a look into, because it's also going to give you fuel and ideas for the next sessions of workshops here. Okay. Also, there's a Discord. As you know, we have the Cardano Discord, we have the Gimbalabs Discord, and I started this one almost personally with a couple of friends, and now I have started a channel in there for this initiative, the Cardano for Non-Technicals. And so in there, you'll have a channel just for us to share what we want to do next week and to talk about what we are trying. So for example, if now you go and see the video, if you have any questions about anything in this video, you can write them there, and it's a channel just for us. And in overall, the server is cross-chain. It talks about several chains and the several aspects of crypto and Web3. So I really encourage you to join this Discord server. Okay. Let me know in direct messages or anything if you have any trouble with the Discord part. Now, for today, I think this is not very organized, but let me just start jumping around here. The main thing that I think we can start by doing is importing things into Eternl, especially because we want to do that on pre-production network. So we've seen in previous sessions that Cardano testnets were reorganized, and the old testnet where we have been working is now going to be disconnected and unplugged in a way in the near future, and pre-production is its replacement. So what we want to do today is, we've already seen Nami wallet and we've already seen Game Changer. Today we would use another wallet called Eternl, and we would start by using the same elements that we had used in the previous sessions. So I have this little file that we started from session 1. If you're watching the videos, you can just go back to the first of this playlist. And we created this type of note of a wallet where we have the recovery phrase, we have the address, which is the single one for Nami. And this is just a complicated password that I scribbled around to sign my transactions. So yeah, I think that could be this first step. And then what I would like us to do is really just, I'm going to show you a bit what proof of stake is. We're going to talk a bit about that and why we should enable our wallet to mine. Actually, we're going to need to fund our wallet again. And that's going to probably take most of our time today already. But yeah, I'm just going to put it here. Fund wallet from the faucet. You remember the faucet part? Which is just a link where we can go and get free test ADA. And this part here, I think if we can get to delegating our wallet, this would be a nice throw of work that we can do today. Make sense for everyone? Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to dig in. Now, this browser, the black one, is my personal one where I'm just editing the document. So I'm going to put it to the side. I'm going to focus my work on my non-technical profile that we set up. Now, the simplest way to get to the Eternl wallet is exactly on this sheet, where I don't know how to get rid of this little thing. So I'm just going to come here on the top, and we have the wallets. So if we click the Chrome extension, if you see the URL, it's just on the web store for Google Chrome extensions. So if I get there, I'm going to be installing the Eternl Chrome extension on this browser. Just going to press add to Chrome and add extension. And there it is. Please go ahead and do this on your side as well. So I'm going to close this tab. And now, like the first time, the extension hides itself in this little puzzle button. So I just press the pin to pin the icon there. And okay, now I have the Eternl wallet installed on my browser. So I'm just going to click it. And I see the interface. You can see by the URL that it's running the Chrome extension. I'm not actually accessing the Eternl website or anything. I'm really just running it sort of locally. I'm okay to continue? Yeah. So now what happens is that because I have although I'm in a different network, I'm gonna try to work on a different network. I'm gonna use the same seed phrase. So from this side, this is what I want to use, these words. And from this side, the first thing that I want to focus on is changing it to be on the test net. So you need to come to the bottom right corner. I'm just going to show it again. There, where it says mainnet, this is the live one with real money. That's not the one we want to use at all. So it's very important that I come here and change it to pre-production testnet. So it's not the preview net or anything else. It's really just pre-production. If you have any doubts about that, you can refer to this document there where you see pre-production there. That's the one we want to use, okay? So here, pre-production testnet, it's gonna refresh. And now you see pre-prod, okay? So here I'm gonna go and add wallet. Because I already have my details for my wallet, I'm just gonna restore it. And this could be the same situation if you had changed your computer or something like that, if you needed to restore the wallet in a different device or something. Like we spoke on the first session, this is the master access to your wallet on the blockchain. These things are, so the address actually is generated out of the seed phrase, and these things are sort of like almost temporary for this installation, for this import of my wallet. I'm just going to crack on, and I have 24 there. I'm going to do next, and I'm going to go ahead and punch them in. Okay. Keep in mind, this seed phrase is something that is valid in different networks, but you don't want to use because I'm showing it here on the video, and because you're playing around with it and you're saving it in your computer, probably you don't want to use this specific one for if you ever have a mainnet address. Okay. Just going to quiet down so I can crack on for a bit. So I'm just typing, and when I see the word down there, I press the tab key, and then I just need to do enter, or yeah, it facilitates inputting things a bit. So 10 is shrimp. You know, shrimps are what we call small crypto holders. When you're a whale, you have a lot of currency. When you're a shrimp, you're just feeding off the little bits that you find. So that's where I am personally. But let's wait for the next bull market. Okay, raccoon. I have a glitch here. This is really weird. Looks like I have the same. Sebastian, do you know if I can have the same seed phrase twice in a row?
This seed phrase?
It's a bit weird. I have 15 and 16 are the same word.
You can figure it out at the end.
Yeah. Let's see. Otherwise, I'm just going to create a new one. And
it's weird.
Yeah.
The randomness is sometimes in this way.
How's it going on your side? Have you completed?
I already completed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it works. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So now the interface is warning me again, keep your recovery phrase. Don't store it digitally online. If you do decide to store it online, please be very responsible and make it encrypted, like in a password manager or something like that, not in Google Drive for sure. Okay, so now here I'm going to use my same ones just to be practical. This is something you should really just be typing out of your memory if you are in a live situation. And now this question is interesting because what we used in NAMI is like a single address wallet where it's really just one address in that wallet, and it's Eternl. Besides being able to have several addresses for each wallet, also allows you to have several accounts, which is another subdivision. But here we really just want to keep it simple and use one and press save. There it is showing up there. And now it's empty. So I'm going to go be very quick and going to, this is something that I've presented in the playlist. If you have our playlist YouTube, I made a video just about this because of the environment and everything. So the first thing you want to do here to keep it simple for us is come to the settings of your wallet and enable the single address mode. Okay, so this is going to simplify something that I'm demoing on that video, which is when you come here to the receive screen, you only have one address. And if you see, it's hopefully going to be the same address as you see, which was from the old testnet. It's still valid on the pre-production one now. Okay, so, but it's different account because it's a different network. And so it's on zeros. So now what I want to do is come to my tools here, look for the faucet for pre-production. This one is not working anymore on testnet. And so here, I'm going to open it. I'm going to copy my receive address. So just by clicking on that, it says copied. And now I'm going to go here. We need to toggle this between both, and we need to change to pre-prod and then drop my address there and request the funds. Okay. So I'm not sure, initially this was a bit overloaded or something, but here I think we are probably good with this system. And I just need to give it a few seconds or minutes to hopefully get my test data in my new pre-production wallet in Eternl. Okay. What I'm doing now is really just because I'm very curious, I'm going to copy this, which is the transaction hash. And so I've done copy. I'm going to come again to my tools sheet and block explorers. So we've mostly been using C Explorer. Let's try Ada Tools now, just to see if it's very different. Okay, so you see there the big illustration saying this is pre-prod. If you went, this one is really pretty because if you go to mainnet, you're going to see all these activities here around the globe on Cardano. So I'm just going to add here my transaction hash. Hopefully this works. No, not sure how this one works. Yeah, I'm not sure this one is good for what I'm trying to do. Oh, there we go, transaction hash. And there we see. I don't think I've ever used this one. I'm sorry, there's someone, maybe Nishan? Do you mind?
Yeah.
I don't know who has a bit of background noise. Maybe if you do, maybe you can mute while you're not speaking, but feel free to unmute anytime. Okay. Thank you so much. Right. So this is a completely different view for me. This is actually one thing that I'm curious on, not working, but improving or finding alternatives to see things, because it's very different. If I come to the Sea Explorer, for example, so that's one of the questions that Huanqing was asking me. Why is there so much diversity? It's because they usually have different uses. So if you want to see transactions, this one is better. If you want to see other things like pools or the global activity that I was talking about in the globe, just as an illustration, this one has that better functionality. So this is just a transaction detail. You see the block and you see the assurance. Because it's already assured 9 out of 8, I'm pretty sure if I come there, it should be, there you go, refreshed. Okay, now to see if we can complete our goals for the session that we drafted just on the beginning, I'm going to come back here. So we've done this and we've done this. Now, in terms of what is proof of stake? So in crypto, there's two main ways that the network is secured. I think, I'm not sure, but there's in this presentation there's one slide that's very important about decentralization. So the way that servers run on blockchains is completely, I don't want to say random, but it's decentralized. It's not organized. It's a way that anyone can join the network or leave the network at any time. So it's necessary in terms of IT, in terms of stability and what we usually call a source of truth, that you don't rely on one single server or a small group of servers. So what happens is that because you have this little, like a swarm of bees or of machines that are trying to agree on something, it's very important that you have a way, an algorithm or a consensus mechanism to come to a conclusion in the network. And that's why when we have an occurrence in the network, something that happened, we have this sort of assurance of how many servers are saying this happened. I even explained in the first session, when a transaction is initiated in one of the servers, it's like gossip, and then it gets reinforced and etc. So I'm just trying to point out that when we get to, in terms of IT architecture, there's this slide here that is a bit like the servers initially was like this one server by someone was organizing this, and then here it's a bit more like in the cloud, and blockchain is not neither one of these. It's more like this. So it's like a gossip network where things are being passed around, and out of this comes that need for a consensus algorithm. So there's two main consensus algorithms. One of them is proof of work, where servers are working very hard to do advanced math to compete with each other. And because they invested that effort, they get granted the possibility of mining the next block. So I think I've also mentioned to you that transactions are being recorded in blocks. We see some references to that here, where we see the block number. And for this block, maybe I'll have more details of how much money, how many transactions went to this block. But coming back to the consensus mechanism, proof of work is that way, where they put in a lot of effort. Proof of stake is completely different. So in proof of stake, the machines don't have to do a big mathematical effort. It's not spending a lot of energy, but you need to have some sort of reinforcement of what servers are more entitled to mine the next block or less. The way we do that in Cardano is because people, owners of Cardano, delegate. Everyone that has Cardano has a right to mine blocks, and the more Cardano you have, the more bit of right that you may have. But what happens is that because we are not running servers, we delegate our right to mine the next block to servers, which we call stake pool operators. And the stake is exactly the amount of ADA that you're going to delegate to the servers. So I'm just hoping I can clarify a bit what delegation is. And if we come on Eternl in practical terms to the staking part, you will see here that there are a number of servers that I can find here. These are different organizations. They're completely, usually they're completely detached from one another. Sometimes we find some that are like something 1 or 2 because it's already gone too big and they're running 2 different tickers that you can delegate to, I think. So yeah, long story short, we just need to select one of them. So for example, if I come in here and add, I think, what's the ticker for Gimbalabs? Oh, the thing is we're on testnet. So here we're not going to find the same ones that we see on mainnet. So I think we're just going to be picking one at random because these are also just testnet servers. Okay.
This is
Yeah, Sebastian?
Look is peace. P-E-A.
Okay.
P-E.
Peace. Okay. I don't find it. I found this one, which is actually the Brazilian community. Maybe we can, I'm going to use this one to try. And just to go ahead, because we just have 5 minutes or a bit less, I'm going to go ahead and delegate. I invite you to do the same. And so what's happening here, almost everything that I do on the blockchain is a transaction. So the same way that when we were using Nami or Game Changer, I get to this point where sort of a draft transaction is being presented to me and I need to sign it. That's what's happening there, where you see, I'm going to spend this little, this little fee. There's this little deposit for my transaction. And this transaction is going to record on the blockchain that my 10,000 test ADA will be delegated to be mined, which is not really the typical proof of work mine. It's more of a proof of stake, which is this server is going to be entitled to accounting for these 10,000 test data to create blocks on the network. So I'm just going to come here, copy my password and sign it. And now I'm on the same screen, but it's on the pending. Well, it's a similar view, I mean, but I'm on the transactions pending page. If I switch to history, I just have here the received funds of 10,000 ADA. So my pending transaction is still not here. The same way that this transaction took a few minutes to be completely validated by the network. Now I have a second transaction that is pending, which is my delegation. In Eternl, they have these icons there that show you a bit what is the content of this transaction. If I come here and explore it a bit, this transaction is just a basic ADA send, so it doesn't have many things there. But if I would go to my personal wallet, I could show you a lot more things. Let's leave it for next sessions where we're going to sandbox on Eternl, and we're surely going to be able to see a lot more icons there. Here, just to keep us busy for a sec, if I get that transaction and duplicate this one, I'm going to close that one, come there. So here we just have an assurance of 2 servers out of 8. The 8 is not all of them, obviously. It's just a minimum for a stable transaction. So the gossip becomes strong enough. I can never see how long we have. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen to take a look. So we have 5 minutes. Just going to share it again. Okay. So Yeah, so that's what's happening. This is my transaction where I got the 10,000 ADA. You can do this yourself on your side after the session if you want, by coming here, coming to the transactions history. So you see there now there's a new transaction added to the list, although it's still showing low 2 confirmations, but it's already in the history side of the transactions. And what I was saying is that if you click on the transaction ID, you can copy it. That's what I have been doing to get it and paste it in here to search. But Eternl already has a link here, but it's going to use Cardano scan. And I'm not sure if this one is good. Yeah, so it's a different block explorer. So my first transaction is on Cardano scan with 29 confirmations. And I'm going to open the other one as well. So instead of copying the hash here, you can click there and you can open the transaction itself. So it just has one confirmation for now. Okay. So this is, I think, concludes the goals for today about importing into Eternl, funding our wallet, and delegating it. Delegating is going to be important because you need to be delegated for a few days so that you can do certain things on the blockchain. And that's what I'm going to try to take you over next week, if the tools that I need to use are already live on pre-production network. So I'm just going to close my screen and pass the ball to you if you have any final questions. So we just have 3 minutes for questions. I'm sorry, we're always just time boxing things, but anything you want to share? Was it clear for you the staking and the proof of stake thing? Have you heard of it before?
Very clear, Lucas.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much. The explanation is great.
Great. So take a look at the resources that I sent if you want during the week. I'm almost not inviting you directly anymore, but we'll always be here. If I don't invite, if I cannot come, I will warn you. And I'm also going to be inviting more people from different communities. So I hope we have more, ideas, and also meet us on the chat in Discord, so that if you have any ideas of things that you want to put in the backlog, our backlog is currently a bit short, and I'm looking for ideas of things that you want to try. So it could be even metaverse or anything from the user's point of view. This is something that from Gimbalabs and from myself, we're really trying to let you decide what you want to explore, and I'm here to mediate the workshops. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So thank you so much for coming, and I'll see you next week. Okay, keep in touch. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.